Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's Phil Paul on the call alongside with Spencer Tracy. Happy to be with you for what should be an interesting game.
Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check. An interesting game indeed. Check, check. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check. An interesting game indeed. Check, check.
We're 24 hours removed from some CCL League play for the Menlo Park Legends, but tonight we have a non-league matchup here at Baylands Park in Palo Alto, California, as we come to you live here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network, as the Legends will welcome the South Bay Storm from the Bay Area Collegiate League tonight, and which should be a fun game for us to view here on the call, as well as for the folks that are coming in here to Baylands Park. And hello, everybody. Welcome to the broadcast. We're here in the broadcast booth at Baylands Park. It's Philip Hall on the call alongside my partner, Spencer Tracy. Well, Spencer, we were made aware that tonight's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a very unorthodox game, but we are excited to look forward to it.
Yeah, bring your tap shoes because you're going to be on your toes tonight. There's going to be a lot of moving around. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a little different, though. So we would just almost describe it as banana ball to a degree, but it's going to be a fun one. You know, the guys kind of need a reshuffle. You know, they've been playing nonstop ever since the All-Star break, and then kind of a rough one last night. So they're looking to kind of hit the reset button and cruise through the final couple weeks of the season.
Well, it's going to be more than just a get-right game, but it's supposed to be, you know, what you can consider a fun game. There are some Legends players that are taking the night off with approval from Nick Sanzeri, who's trying to rest the guys up and get them ready for the back-to-league play come Friday when we welcome the San Luis Obispo Blues. Well, for the South Bay Storm, they come in, you know, a little non-conference tilt for them on their side, as mentioned, from the Bay Area Collegiate League. But we're going to see how they'll favor out, and what should be a game where Sanzeri is just going to go a full 9 with a surprise that we'll keep you tuned in for as the game goes on. But we're going to run through the South Bay Storm starting lineup as they're led by their head coach and Mike Ryan. As leading off will be Andre Moretti playing first base. Nicholas Jang bats second at shortstop. Will Ramirez is in the third hole at third base. Max Matucci is a designated hitter. He'll hit cleanup. Nicholas Fesenmeyer is in left field, hitting fifth. Dominic DeFeo is at catcher in the sixth hole. Elijah Demiris is at second base, batting seventh. Nolan Hallahan is in center field, hitting eighth. And Evan Tavares is in right field, batting ninth. And on the mound for the Legends, this is going to be our guy, Noah Klube. As Klube, this will be his first appearance on the mound and his first start of the season at home. So very interesting call for Nick Sanzeri to make.
Yeah, cool opportunity for Klube, too, to get the pitch on some home soil.
He'll drop in a first pitch strike to open up the ball game. First pitch at 6 o'clock on the dot here in Palo Alto on another, you know, a hot evening here in Silicon Valley. There's a fly ball hit to right field, and it's going to be a can of corn for our right fielder tonight, Joey D'Amelio. Give it a defensive alignment for the Legends in this one. In outfield from left to right, Nate Bateman starts in left. Paul Wachter is in center field. Joey D'Amelio in right field. At shortstop, we have Ryder Kelly. At third base is Michael Akawa. Isaac Findell at second base, or at first base, Casey Levitt McGee. And Nick Madrigal is at catcher. There's a base hit back in the center field by Nicholas Jang. Doesn't waste any time there.
Yeah, it's going to be a fast-paced game. Klube just his job, throw strikes. His job, throw strikes. And you mentioned it to me pregame. You talked to Sanzeri, Philip, about Klube was having some conversations about implementing a split finger into his pitch arsenal.
That's right. Klube, more of an off-speed guy. There's a ground ball hit the short, chance for a double play here. There's one, and there's two. And just like that, the Legends get out of the inning. Well, we'll hold that thought when, you know, Klube returns to the mound. But the good start on defense there for the Legends as they'll come up to hit for the first time tonight. As we'll give you the starting lineup 1 through 9 when we come back from the break. You're tuned in to Menlo Park Legends Baseball here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. Back here for the bottom of the first as the Legends will come up to the plate. Starting lineup will go like this. So Ryder Kelly leading off at shortstop. Isaac Findell at second base hitting second. Jordan Melio in the third hole in right field. Casey Levin McGee will hit cleanup at first base. Michael Aikawa at third base hitting fifth. Nick Madrigal is at catcher hitting sixth. In the seventh hole is Nate Bateman in left field. Paul Wagner starts in center field hitting eighth. And Noah Klub will be hitting for himself here as the pitcher in the 9 hole. So no DH for the Legends tonight. Ryder Kelly, first pitch hacking, fouls it off there as the starting pitcher for the Storm will be Jordan Renteria.
Kelly is a player we've really had fun watching this summer. His ability to play kind of all over the place on the diamond. We've mainly seen him up the middle at second base, but he started at shortstop last night and showed his smooth hands and his capability, his range, his arm strength, but also has showcased throughout the whole summer his legs and his threat on the bases, as well as that explosive bat, where if he runs into the right pitch, he can really give it a ride.
That's for sure. Yeah, Ryder Kelly, he was able to get a hit last night against the Crawdads in the game that the Legends were able to find themselves in the fight later on, only losing 8-6. But you could definitely see the potential that Ryder Kelly has as he'll be going to UC Davis come the fall.
Yeah, an exciting player that Cenzeri is. It's been tough to keep him out of the lineup, and he's really worked his way up the lineup as well. He's kind of been in that leadoff, two-hitter, three spot, setting the tone for the power hitters like Ryan Duran or Casey Levitt McGee towards the middle of the order. He's just a really fun player to watch. They're going to have a lot of fun watching him.
Yeah, so just a heads up for the folks watching at home, you won't be seeing guys like Mason Griffin or Ryan Duran playing tonight. They were given the night off. Owen's taking low and out. So a full count now on Kelly. Oh, yeah, so some of the usual starters, they are getting a rest day, so that way they can get ready for Friday. But Nick Cenzeri, again, trying to have a little fun here for some guys that, don't really get a chance to start as much. They're more of like the guys that get flipped once, the sixth inning come. There's Ryder Kelly taking that one there. They got him on the forearm, but he'll reach base on the hit by pitch. Yeah, Jordan Renteria, 6'4" pitcher who could also play first base out of Avila University. He does hail from San Francisco, where he played his JUCO ball at City College of San Francisco. This is his fourth summer playing with the Storm. He's going to see Isaac Findell. Had a good night on defense at second base. He's going to pop up the first pitch, and it's going to be the first baseman Moretti coming in to make the play.
And a great communication there by the Storm. Demiris calling off. Looked like he wanted the ball, but then in comes Moretti, and instead of just kind of sitting on his heels, just waiting for Moretti to catch the ball, Demiris goes to cover first base in case there happens to be a play. Really just thinking ahead of the play.
Brings up the third hitter, and Joey D'Amelio. And have himself a good string of games at the plate. Kelly takes off for second. The throw is late as he is safe. Able to get underneath the tag there.
Yeah, not a great jump there from Kelly. He kind of got off to a slow start. I was really expecting him to shut it down, but a high throw on time, but just high from Defoe, and that just allowed Kelly to slide underneath the tag.
So Red Bottoms able to advance 90 feet in scoring position for D'Amelio. So look at that one outside. Count goes to 2-0.
D'Amelio coming in as one of the hottest bats for the Legends. He's reached base in 8 straight plate appearances.
Kind of like the guy on the Royals, Tyler Tolbert. He had that. It's a major league record of hits for each plate appearances for the Royals. Like, it happened sometime a couple weeks ago. That's hard to do. I feel like it's more hard to hit in consecutive plate appearances than it would be to have a hitting streak in games.
Yeah, I agree, right? Because you can go 1 for 4 and the hit streak's still alive, whereas that would totally kill your hit at bat streak, I guess is how you would put it.
Yeah, but like if you could like have a string of plate appearances, that's going to boost your batting average by
a ton.
Large chunk.
It's going to skyrocket.
The fly ball out to center field, caught by Houlihan. It's 2 gone. Give you the defensive alignment for the Storm. They're getting into outfield. Out in left field is Nicholas Fezzenmeyer. In center field, you have Nolan Houlihan. Nicholas Jang is in right field. I beg your pardon. That's Evan Tavares in right field. Nicholas Jang is at shortstop. Will Ramirez will play third. Elijah Demiris at second base. Andre Moretti at first base. And Dominic DeFeo is behind the plate at catcher. Now it's Casey Levitt McGee's turn. Pitch missed low for ball 1. Our ground ball to second. It's picked up by Demers, and he will get the out at first to retire the side. Runner left on, but nothing doing for the Legends in the first frame. We'll go to the second frame. Still scoreless here in Palo Alto. As when we come back, it will be Matucci, Fezzenmeyer, and DeFeo due up for the Storm. Well, here in the second inning, still a scoreless ball game between the South Bay Storm and the Menlo Park Legends. Some 9 league coverage that we have on store for you here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. Leading off for the Storm is a good friend of Spencer's, Max Matucci. You had a chance to talk with him before the game.
Yeah, myself, Max Matucci, and now playing center field, Joey D'Amelio, all share the same high school mascot, the Padres. They're Padres up in San Mateo. Max and I played JV and varsity ball for Sarah.
It's popped and flared to the shallow left field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit over Kelly.
I will say Max, having played alongside him at Sarah and club and travel ball, is a special talent in the batter's box. He is a fun player to watch, and that is a great example of what he does.
Absolutely. I had a chance to catch him taking batting practice, and he was letting the ball fly in BP before the game. He's going to get off a bloop single to lead off the top of the second inning. And they're going to call a balk on Klub. which will allow Matucci to move to second as Nicholas Fesenmeyer is up to hit now. As we did mention that Joey DeMelio did move to center field, so Paul Wagner goes to right field. One thing about Klub, he's going to be mixing up the repertoire tonight. Ground ball hit to the right side, picked up, and there's one at first. That does allow Matucci to move to third. I was talking with Noah Klub before the game. He says he's been working on a new pitch that he's debuting tonight, actually. He's integrating a forkball into his repertoire along with the sinker, the occasional four-seamer, as he puts it, along with, like a changeup here and there. But his focus is not so much to strike out guys at the plate, but just to keep balls on the ground.
And it worked in the first inning. Got himself, I don't know if that was the exact pitch he threw to get the double play, but gave up the single to Jang and then a double play immediately after by off Will Ramirez. So to get the ground ball, use Kelly, use Akawa, Levitt McGee, and Fendel. Those are all good defenders.
Big swing and a miss there by the hitter at the plate, Dominic DeFeo. DeFeo, the Cal Poly Pomona product. On the ground at third. And they're going to try to go home with it. Matucci's in a run down here. Aikawa trying to go after him, and he's going to put the tag on him. Heads up defense there at the hot corner for Aikawa. There's two out.
Always got to have a plan when you got runners on base defensively, and that plan was just kind of made right in front of Akawa's eyes, right? Runner on third goes home. You got to try and make that play.
Yeah, that was on the ground ball that wasn't hit relatively hard. Matucci was trying to go over a chance to the play, but just kind of caught like a deer in the headlights there.
Yeah, he's an aggressive move by Matucci.
Foul ball on the first pitch by Elijah Demiris, who will hit for the first time tonight. Now, DeFeo was able to reach on the fielder's choice on that rundown play. There's strike two into Demiris.
Yeah, typically in that situation, if you're going to be overly aggressive and you realize you're not going to make it, you want to get in the pickle as long as possible so Defoe can potentially have enough time to reach second base. So you kind of trade a runner on third who gets put out, but you end up with the runner in scoring position as a trade-off of being aggressive. Unfortunately, Matucci couldn't stay in the pickle enough, but good job by Madrigal and Akawa to not allow Defoe to take an extra 90 feet.
What Klub could do here. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He was able to get Demiris to chase, and he's definitely letting the stuff work tonight. Klub, who pitched 40 innings at Diablo Valley, definitely showing off here on the home front on the mound. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Still a 0-0 game here in Palo Alto. Leading off from Menlo Park here in the bottom of the second, it will be Michael Aikawa. Even though we're not playing a league game tonight in the CCL, we'll still give you some scores around the league on this Wednesday evening on July 15th. A game that's already gone final today. The Merchants pull off an upset against the San Luis Obispo Blues at home, winning 10-6. And then you also have the Crawdads up 4-3 right now in the bottom of the seventh against the Stompers. Crawdads, were able to get the win here last night, are back home in Danville. And strike one in Aikawa. And down in the Southland, you have the Academy Barons taking on the San Diego Waves. That game just getting started in Compton in the bottom of the first. And later tonight, you have the Philippines Baseball Group taking on the Orange County Riptide. Game taking place in Irvine. Yeah, a bit of a light slate in the CCL for this Wednesday night table. That one's lined in. It's a fair ball hit down the left field line by Aikawa. It's going to roll over into the corner as Michael Aikawa will pull in the second with the leadoff double.
I think one more rotation on that ball, and that might have ended up foul. That one just stayed on the right side of that white line. But going over to your out-of-town scoreboard, Philip, the Blues dropping one to the Merchants 10-6. That's one of my favorite things about baseball is anyone can lose on any given day. It really just shows how hard it is to be 15 games over 500 like the Blues, or just to be that successful. I love those kind of games.
As Nick Madrigal comes up, he'll foul at the first pitch. And I say it's a surprise because the Blues, they have the league high of wins all across the CCL, and to be beat by one of the California Collegiate League affiliate teams in the Alameda Merchants, I mean, this kind of goes to show, hey, upsets are bound to happen in this summer league.
Right, and the Merchants are a very well run organization too, a very good team. They're very very competitive. Last year they gave the Legends some tough games last season at CSM, our home of 2025, but and this year they've been a good opponent as well. So they're a strong affiliate, I would say, but definitely with the Blues, given how well they've played this year, an upset.
Madrigal, fly ball hit deep to right field. Tavares camps under it. Aikawa's going to tag up, go to third. The throw, off the glove of Ramirez as Aikawa slides in safely.
Tavares had a real shot there. He did an excellent job on that fly ball. Routine, understand he was in the right spot, giving himself time to get behind the ball, which allows him to take a couple tap steps forward as he's making the catch, gaining some power and gaining some momentum towards third base so he can make a really strong and effort throw to try and nail Aikawa at third. Really good opportunity there. That was a really impressive throw.
The South Bay Storm infield playing in with Nate Bateman now at the plate. And he'll look at ball one high from Renteria. The Legends with a chance to get the first run on the board here. So they're able to get their first hit of the game off of the Aikawa leadoff double. That one's hit hard. The second off the glove of Demiris. Aikawa doesn't try for the plate. He'll stay put. Rode that an infield single for Bateman. Aikawa doesn't try to put the first run up for the Legends. And I don't know, Spencer, might have been a questionable decision there as base running wise.
It's easy to say that once the infielder kicks it around, but I agree with you. I think you got to think about what does the second baseman have to do to get you to be thrown out. One, he has to make a clean backhanded play, a clean exchange, and it's not a forced play. So the catcher has to make the catch and then lay down a tag. That's 4 or 5 things needed to be done to throw at Aikawa.
Right, takes off the second. The throw there is in time. Aikawa doesn't try to go for the plate there, but Bateman is caught stealing.
And now it's going to take a hit to score Aikawa from third.
Paul Wagner trying to do a job here and Spoiler alert, folks, but Senzeri is having Paul Wagner play all 9 positions, so he'll move a position each inning. He's already played center field and right field. And it is the first time in Legends history that we're having a player play all 9 positions. So you tune in tonight, you're in for a treat.
Absolutely.
Wagner swings and hits it down the right field line. A long run for Tavares, but he'll track it down and make the catch. And that will retire the side. A runner left on base for the Legends, not able to get the one on the scoreboard in the bottom half of the second, so we'll go to the third. Still scoreless here in Palo Alto. You're tuned in to Menlo Park Legends Baseball on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. Leading off for South Bay is going to be Nolan Hallahan. It's going to be 8-9-1 due up for the Storm here in the beginning of the third inning. Noah Klub still out on the rubber.
And that split finger has been working really well for him tonight. I don't know what the pitch mix has been from Senzeri, but it's worked.
There's a line drive hit in the left center field as it's going to be a leadoff knock for Hallahan. Expect to see a lot of that. Ball is getting put into play here. Nolan Hallahan, the 5'10 outfielder who plays at Monterey Peninsula College. This is his first summer with the Storm. His freshman year at Monterey Peninsula, played in 25 games. Klub hits the corner there for strike one to Tavares. There's already been one double play turned here by the Legends infield. Second pitch to Evan Tavares in for ball one. Strike two. In by Klub. He's definitely been having some good location working that outer part of the plate.
Yeah, he hasn't just been throwing strikes. He's been commanding the zone as well, hitting the corner of the plate.
1-2 is looped in the left center field, so another base hit goes for the Storm.
Tough way to get beat there. Just kind of a soft liner that just falls over the head of your middle infielders. But, I mean, if you're Klub, you're missing barrels, and that's a major victory in itself.
Trying to battle back here as you're keeping track at home. The Wagner watch. He has moved to left field. That breaking ball in for a strike one to start the AB against Andre Moretti, who flew out to right field to begin the ball game in the first. Pitch runs inside, and how about this? Wagner gets underneath it, makes the catch, and runner tags from second to throw in. Oh, and he's safe. So Nolan Hallahan testing the arm of Paul Wagner, who has played all three positions in the outfield. And man, that play was close, but he was able to get in before Cal was able to put the tag down.
Great defensive play. It's hard not to crack at least a smile. I was about to say, yeah, he flew out to right field his first step out, which would have been Wagner. And then again, flying out to Paul Wagner. But great awareness by Ryder Kelly to let that go through to Akawa to give himself a chance to make the tag. Bang, bang play.
And it's going to be another base hit to left center field. Third time in this inning that the ball has gone that part of the yard. It's going to be an RBI single for Nicholas Jang as they'll put the Storm up 1-0 in the third.
And if you're Klub right now, you're just going to kind of get your best ground ball pitch, whether it's that splitter, locating at the fastball down at the knees. Just how you ended that first inning.
Start off, Ramirez with a strike there. Still a chance for a double play here. Runners at first and second. Middle infield of Killian Findell playing double play depth. Runner takes off for second. The throw will be late, so the Storm getting the double steal to work.
They're going to get interference here, and that's going to be an automatic out.
That's right.
So Ramirez was out in front on an off-speed pitch, and in doing so, his body came over the plate. He has the right to the batter's box, but once you step over the plate, you interfere with Madrigal's throw to second because of the stealing attempt, therefore becomes obstruction. So therefore, Ramirez is just called out.
And will the Legends catch a break there?
Huge break, because then also the base runners return back to first and second. Job not finished, though. Here's Max Matucci.
Yeah, still a dangerous hitter that Klub has to get through. It's a good block there behind the plate by Madrigal. Oh, still Jang at first and Tavares at second. It's the 1-0. Klub puts it across the plate. Strike one.
That one did not miss by much. Got to be careful around Matucci. His bat-to-ball skills is very impressive.
He's going to roll that one down the third baseline, but just foul. Or as you mentioned, Max Matucci, he played on the club team at Purdue, and right now is in the process of getting his master's degree in data science from the Rochester Institute of Technology. He had 397 with 4 homers and 24 RBIs at RIT this year in 15 games. So, fouled at the plate there. Ball's dead. Oh, man, Matucci just got a piece of that barely.
Yeah, he's range of contact. He's not afraid to swing at a pitch that ends up on the other side of the right-hander's batter's box. But the scary part about his game is if he gets his pitch and he's on time, that ball will never stop flying.
Oh, Klub delivers the junk and gets Matucci to strike out. Well, Noah Klub found himself in a bit of trouble, but was able to work out of it. But the Storm do get on the board first, bring across 1 run on 3 hits in the top half of the third. We'll go to the home half where the Legends are going to work to get that run back. It'll be Klube, Kelly, and Findell due up when we come back here in Palo Alto. The Storm get one across in the top of the third, as here comes Noah Klube, who will be hitting tonight. So there's no DH in this lineup set up by Cenzeri, so the pitcher will be hitting. So we're going back to the old school National League rules here, Spencer.
Yeah, it's throwback time. It's throwback time. The pitcher is hitting.
Oh, first go on the swing. Klube, let's go with the bat. Swings through the first pitch.
Hey, if that's a foul ball home run or you throw your bat halfway up the third baseline, it's still a 1. A strike is a strike.
Oh, no batting gloves for Noah Klube.
Going with the Nick Madrigal, Paul Wagner.
Well, we got a good rip there, but it's foul ball.
I'm loving this left foot stride, stepping forward and like toward third base kind of stance here. Watch that left foot of Klube.
And a look at strike 3 on the corner there. That was pitcher on pitcher crime by Jordan Renteria for the first out.
That's a pretty mean slider to throw at a guy who doesn't get to see too many pitches as a hitter.
It does bring us back to the top of the order for Ryder Kelly, who was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance, but did steal a base. First pitch swinging, ground ball to Will Ramirez. Still throw across the diamond. Picked up in the dirt by Moretti, 2 away. Isaac Findell will hit with 2 out here. Jordan Renteria trying to look for the 1-2-3. First pitch outside for a ball. The South Bay Storm, they originally hailed from San Jose, playing in the Bay Area Collegiate League. And you might have seen where their home field is if you've driven on the freeways of San Jose. They play at the historic PAL Stadium.
PAL Stadium, yeah. I've played a handful of travel tournaments at that field. Couple practices as well.
And Dale, another grounder over to Ramirez. This time he can't secure it. Isaac Findell of a hard hit ball as he'll reach base. That does open the door up for Joey DeMelio to hit in this inning.
You giving that a hit, Phillip? It's probably an error.
Uh, said give him an error on that one.
Yeah, I agree.
It's playable ball there. That pitch gets away, which will allow Findell to advance to second. Legends want to work to get that run back. Tying run now in scoring position for D'Amelio. This is high, goes to 2 balls and no strike.
Hitters count for a red-hot hitter in Joey D'Amelio. Try and tie this game up. The Legends have not scored yet. You got to understand it is an exhibition, right? It doesn't go on your record in the CCL, but you got to treat it like a game. Otherwise, you're not getting anything out of it.
A big swing out to left field, and that ball is gone. That ball got out here like it was on a date, or it was late for a date. Joey D'Amelio puts the Legends in front 2-1 on a 2-run shot.
Well, talk about making a couple mistakes hurt. East Bay had the inning on a platter, just totally over. But Fendel reaches on an error, and then Joey D'Amelio takes advantage of a 2-0 fastball mistake. And as you mentioned, Philip, that ball had an engine on it.
Case 11 McGee, deep drive to center field. It's going back, way back, and it's going to fall in front of the wall over the head of Hallahan as Casey Levin McGee will get on with the hard hit double.
I was about to say, Casey Levin McGee just saw his teammate in front of him go yard. This is a guy who has the power to do the exact same thing and do it with some oomph. And I was expecting him to swing out of his shoes on the first pitch if he got a good look at it. And he did not disappoint, hitting that about 380. That wouldn't look like it was going to be a flyout, but just kind of kept going. And you could see Holohan just keep going back and back and back and back. Hit the bottom of the fence. Holohan even collided with the fence. That's how far he hit it.
Yeah, that shade cover that's out in center field with the trees hanging over it. It's kind of hard to, see if the ball is going to be caught or if it's going to go over the fence at times as the hitter. But, Casey Levin McGee, he just kept trucking and trucking until the ball eventually landed. That Joey D'Amelio home run. What was that quote by Kevin Costner in Bull Durham? Anything that got out that fast had a stewardess on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that ball definitely did fly off the bat D'Amelio for sure. Just over the left field wall. Here's Michael Aikawa back up to the plate. He doubled in the second inning. I'll lay that one off from Renteria. Count 2-0.
And this goes back to what I'm talking about. Take this as a live game rep. 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Right now, not a lot of pressure, but if you're playing the Blues or the Seagulls and later this week.
Aikawa sending it in the gap, but running it down is Tavares, who was playing him close to right center there, as that will be the inning. But it comes with some loud noise off of the bat of Joey D'Amelio with a 2-run blast to give Menlo Park the 2-1 lead over the South Bay Storm, as we'll go to the 4th with a brand new ball game here in Palo Alto. Legends jump in front off of the 2-run home run from Joey D'Amelio. As Noah Klub's day is done, as coming in the pitch for him will be Eddie McCartney. Redshirt freshman from Vanguard by way of San Mateo. He's going to throw a first pitch ball into Nicholas Fesenmeyer, who will lead off for the Storm. And the Wagner watch continues, as now he is catching for Eddie McCartney in this one here. So he's behind the plate with the gear on. And then that will move Nick Madrigal over to first base, and Casey Levin McGee will go to left field. Pitch inside. Count at 3-0. See if Fesenmeyer gets the green light here. Gonna take all the way for ball 4. Oh, this may be a non-league game, Spencer, but I'm going to continue with the This Day in Baseball History Nuggets.
Hit me.
All right. So, on this day in 1963, Juan Marichal throws a no-hitter. Marichal blanks the Houston Colt 45s, which are now the Houston Astros, of course.
They should never change that name.
Hilarious. But Marichal, no hit the Colt 45s 1-0, recording the Giants' first no-hitter since Carl Hubble did in 1929 with the New York Giants. And it was the first no-hitter in San Francisco Giants history, and it was done at Candlestick, ending a 34-year franchise drought. He had 5 strikeouts in the game and only walked 2 batters at a game that lasted 1 hour and 41 minutes. So I think Juan Marichal must have had a hot date that night.
Yeah, I was about to use your line you just used. That hour 45 is, especially nowadays, it's unheard of. That's pre-pitch clock.
Yeah.
That's
one
well
big note.
before the pitch clock.
One big note: there was no pitch clock at all in the time.
That is hour, less than 2 hour sporting event. That is, you just don't see that.
Yeah.
You just do not see that.
Yeah, that's right. No pitch clock yet in the 60s. And it's crazy to believe how a 1 hour, 41-minute baseball game was done with a no-hitter included.
No one. I mean, they didn't really see pitch count as like a strategy either back then. So there was no reason, there was no thought of a hitter to grind at bats. You're just kind of get a pitch to hit and go after it, But also, you have a Hall of Famer on the bump like that. He's going to know how to manipulate the hitters.
Throw down to second. Wagner, offline, goes into center field. That will allow Fesenmeyer to advance to third.
Yeah, Fesenmeyer read the scouting report of what inning Paul Wagner is going to be behind the dish. It's a skill set that just doesn't look like it's the most challenging part of being a catcher, but the glove, having to exchange, being in the squat, jumping quickly to your feet, getting an accurate throw off, all those things very tough to do.
2-2, line foul. Well, Dominic DeFeo staying in the fight here. He reached on the fielder's choices last time, but has a chance to tie the game up for South Bay. Yeah, Juan Marichal, the Dominican dandy, they called him. And one of the most iconic pitchers in San Francisco Giants history, of course, the delivery with the high leg kick. That's a fair ball down the third baseline. Aikawa, beautiful throw across the diamond.
That was a beautiful play by Aikawa, understanding what's in front of him. He's got his base runner at third who holds there, so now he's just got to set his feet and fire a laser across the diamond, which is exactly what he did. And also, Philip, a very impressive stretch over there at first by Nick Madrigal.
Yeah.
That takes an athlete.
For sure, and he's just an inning removed from being in the squat, so you can imagine how his knees feel.
100%.
Here's Elijah Demiris, second baseman.
A lot of first basemen hit the injured list because of plays like that.
Do you think he takes yoga classes?
If you're a first baseman, it's strongly recommended. I would think. I would not be surprised.
McCartney's 1-0. Another one hit to Aikawa. He'll give the runner a look and then get the out at first. And he's moving like Matt Chapman in his prime over there.
Yeah, who needs a strikeout when you have Michael Aikawa playing third base? I mean, you really can't fault Bessenmeyer for not taking off.
That brings us to the 8-hole for the Storm. It's Nolan Hallahan. He singled and came across the score last time. He has been the lone run scored in the game so far for the Storm. Swings and fouls it over on the third base side.
Cartney's starting to get a feel for the strike zone now. You can see him attacking that zone a little bit more frequently and a little bit being more precise of where he wants that ball to break, where he wants that ball to finish over the plate. You can see him and the pitching coach trying to get on the same page.
Oh, 2-strike pitch coming up. In the dirt, Wagner stopped it, but it took a second to try to find it.
What a block by Wagner to prevent a run from scoring. That's a big 90 feet by Wagner.
And I feel like he's learning something just moving around the diamond tonight. He's already covered the outfield, so now he's trying to cover far as in the infield here.
Getting more experience tonight than you can in any internship.
The 1-2. Oh, runs in, and it's going to drill Hallahan.
Not a bad spot to get hit, though, on the back, lower back, on a breaking ball. Nothing hurt. No runs across because of that.
And McCartney's still working with 2 outs here. Again, the Legends are running thin tonight, so these guys are going to try to eat up as much innings as they can, especially if you're a pitcher. Well, Evan Tavares will now come up to the plate. Look at the first one inside for a ball. McCartney hits the zone for strike 1. McCartney, a product of St. Ignatius College Prep in San Francisco. High school that has produced many college arms as well as a few pro arms. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on Tavares.
Program's doing really well right now. The WCAL.
Runner takes off. Wagner, fakes the throw to second. Nice IQ play there for the part-time backstop.
That's a heads-up play by Wagner. Don't force the throw. Don't even give Bessenmeyer a chance to score on a throw to second. Great pump fake.
Here's the 2-2. Try to go for a frame job there. It's going to be a full count now.
Strong wrist, Paul. Strong wrists. Stay firm when receiving that ball. Give your pitcher the best chance to get that called strike.
See who wins the duel here. That one's lined in the center field, but running it down and making the catch Out there is Mr. Bateman.
Another catcher.
Man, everybody's getting some movement tonight. Nate Bateman with the putout will close out the top half of the fourth. Still a 2-1 lead for Menlo Park. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth when we come back. 2-1 Menlo Park now in the bottom of the fourth here at Baylands Park. Philip Hall on the call alongside with Spencer Tracy here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. Nick Madrigal will lead off. Jordan Renteria still on the rubber for the Storm. Well, Paul Wagner had some reps at catcher the last inning. Of course, he's on the Wagner watch, going for all 9 positions played in tonight's game. The bounce over to third. Ramirez will throw on the first out.
If what we were told was correct, Wagner will be making his defensive shift to the infield now. He accomplished his outfield, starting in right and then moving from center to the left. And he was in the squat last inning. So now it's time to tackle those 4 positions on the dirt.
That's right. As Nate Bateman comes up to hit. A little bit of a history with players playing all 9 positions as he'll foul out the first pitch. But in Major League history, there have only been 5, yes, correct, a total of only 5 players in MLB history to have successfully played all 9 defensive positions in a single game. Bert Campaneris was the first one to do it for the Kansas City Athletics in 1965. Bateman hits that one fair down the right field line. He'll hit the bag at first, and he'll go for second as he'll hit the brakes there. There's a 1-out double for Nate Bateman. He's now 2 for 2 on the night. Oh, speaking of, Paul Wagner will come up to hit now with Bateman at second. Oh, yeah, Bert Campaneris played all 9 positions in 1965 in a game on September 8th for the Kansas City Athletics. And following up was Cesar Tovar with the Minnesota Twins on September 22nd in 1968. And in the modern era, Scott Sheldon with the Texas Rangers played all 9 on September 6th in 2000. And there were a total of 2 players to play all 9 positions in a game in the 2000 season. Shane Halter did it with the Tigers on October 1st in 2000. And then Andrew Romine became the second Tiger to play all 9 positions recently on September 30th in 2017 for Detroit.
Pretty cool list to be on.
It's a wacky list to be on. We'll say. And you can only imagine what goes through a player's mind just knowing that they got to cover the entire field in one day.
Yeah, that can be a little tough, but you break it down. one position at a time. It is tough because each position has its own responsibilities. There's its own who has priority in what situations. That changes every inning the more you move. I think that's where it would become a little bit of a headache for me. It would be a little tough to kind of remember all of that. But I don't know, some guys are just born to play the utility position.
On the ground at third, fair ball. Ramirez, a big target at first. He'll get the out. And Moretti tried to go for a backdoor at second, but Bateman hurries back to the bag.
Love it. I'm pro backdoor plays right there. I'm always be looking for the next play.
So Eddie McCartney, the pitcher, will hit here in the 9th spot. Again, we're going National League rules here tonight for the Legends.
I love it. You really don't even need to announce the name. Just the presence in the box, it just is enough to tell you what's going on here. It's great.
I should rephrase that. Old school National League rules.
That's right.
The pitcher hitting.
It's always the fun part about your team playing on a day is what's the lineup going to be. And what I miss about that is when, growing up when the Giants would go and play like Detroit or an AL team, you'd see, who's going to DH? Who's going to be the DH? Oh, we get an extra hitter. How's that going to work?
McCartney strikes out swinging for the 3rd out. So a runner left on 1 hit for Menlo Park in the bottom half of the 4th. They still hold the 2-1 lead as the Storm trying to make some noise as they'll come back to the plate with the top of the order due up. Andre Moretti will lead off for the South Bay Storm here in the top of the 5th. So again, Wagner watch. He'll move from catcher to first base now, while Nick Madrigal goes back behind the dish with the gear. Still Eddie McCartney pitching as he'll deliver ball 1 to Moretti. I'll throw in strike 1. Moretti flew out to right his first time up, and his sacrifice fly his 3rd time. Make that his 2nd time up to the plate. Fouled that one onto the on-deck circle. Nicholas Jang, the on-deck hitter who has drove in the lone run for the Storm tonight, the RBI single. So he'll be due to hit this inning.
McCartney try and continue from that rhythm that he finished last inning with. Obviously, he started with the 4-pitch walk. But after that, he kind of found his groove. Let's see if he can continue that rhythm.
Two now. Make that 3-2. Pitch runs in for ball 4. The leadoff walk to open up the top of the 5th. Nicholas Jang will step up to hit here.
He did it a few times last inning. Let's see if we can get another ground ball to Akawa. Get a double play.
Yeah, Jang's 2 for 2 on the night. 2 singles along with an RBI. Excuse me, swing, but rolls foul over to first. And he'll flare it out in the right field over the head of Wagner. Well, Jang gets 3 knocks and 3 ABs on the night.
That swing should tell you how good of a pitch that was from McCartney. But just a better bat-to-ball skills by Jang to just full extension, take the ball, hit the ball where it's pitched, and just flip it over Wagner's head at first base. He was going to get some time. He got some time in the squat, and now he's getting some time holding runners on.
Yeah, his knees are thanking him.
One inning won't be too hard. Everyone goes to a knee now, so it's a little easier on the knees.
I will say, he did do all right in that inning behind the plate, though.
Saved a run, kept the ball in front, big block, in a 1-run game. That's big. If this score holds, that's gonna up his WAR.
Will Ramirez count at 1 ball and no strikes on him.
Yeah, much needed conversation by Madrigal. Sometimes for a pitcher or even for a hitter, it helps when you take a breather like this. Before you take the mound, you pick a spot on the field where when you look at it, it reminds you of something that kind of takes you out of the mindset of the game, of the pitch-by-pitch grind. And whether it's, a foul ball pull, a base, the ball, a glove, a light pole, a tree, something, you pick it out and you use it as like a reset button. And sometimes that can kind of help a pitcher get out of a rut when they can't find the strike zone or running into a bad inning.
A resumed play here. McCartney behind 2-0. Stopped there by Madrigal. Runners don't advance. They'll stay put. Ball 4. Now the bases are loaded for the Storm here. So they'll have the tying run go to third, and the go-ahead run go to second. And get a mound visit.
This is going to be a change.
I don't know. Would you make the decision to have Paul Wagner pitch now?
Just, rip the Band-Aid. Bases welcome to the CCL, Paul Wagner. Bases loaded, nobody out. 1-run game.
Wait a minute. Looks like we're Well, we're seeing Paul Wagner. I think he was trying to make sure, like, oh, am I coming in? Well, he's making his way back to the mound here. No, it will not be Paul Wagner pitching, so it will stay at first, but there is an arm coming in relief now.
Might be Luke Corcoran. Yeah, that's going to be Luke Corcoran, a left-hander.
Yeah, Luke Corcoran will relieve Paul Wagner on the rubbers. So we're going to have to wait for Paul Wagner a little bit later. So yeah, I think from the looks of it, Spencer, like we're watching him warm up, and we see Corcoran. You know, he's changed his arm slot from the last time we saw him.
Yeah, it's I'm a little baffled by it myself. We've seen him kind of be more, not exactly over the top, but kind of has that typical arm angle over the top. But the first couple throws here on the bump, he came more like he was throwing behind a left-handed hitter, which is not typical from Corcoran. We have not seen a pitcher with that arm slot on the Legends team. Very similar to like Miles Tincher from last night.
Oh yeah,
who came out of relief for the Crawdads from the right-handed side, but he came all the way across. Like he was in between Chris Sale and Tyler Rogers. But Corcoran, yeah, it looks like he's more back to his typical over the top, less arm slot.
As a Luke Corcoran will now come in the pitch here. The base is loaded with Max Matucci. Ground ball over to Wagner. Good stop. He'll go to the plate, and they got him at home. And Paul Wagner, he's doing it all tonight, literally.
Utility man. I mean, showing his catcher skills at first base, keeping the ball in front, picking it up barehanded, firing it over his teammate Madrigal.
So able to keep the lead for the Legends on the 3-2 putout for the first out.
Keeps his Legends team in front by 1. He is earning the utility man title tonight.
And still bases loaded as Matucci was able to reach on the fielder's choice with that 3-2 putout. As Fesenmeyer maybe down 0-1. See, yeah, you're saying, Spencer, Corcoran with that over-the-top delivery, kind of a mix-up. You know, when he was throwing his warm-ups, the first two were, like he dropped the arm a little bit, but now he's bringing it more over to that regular, over the top instead of that 3-4 slot.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to mess with. I've talked a lot about when pitchers are struggling with their pitch locations because they're not finding that arm slot, that release point, when they need to let go of the ball so they get the right movement, the right break, and the right location on their pitches. They throw it where they want it to throw it. You mess around with your arm slot, and you might mess around with your command. So very interesting approach to kind of getting warm. Maybe he was just kind of throwing just to throw, get a feel for the mound and less of arm slot, but very interesting.
Now Nicholas Fesenmeyer, count 2-2 on him. Breaking ball, ground ball to short. Kelly picks it up. There's one at second. Fendel to first. Oh, and he's safe. The throw to first just late to complete the double play as Jang able to score, and we are tied up at 2.
Just about everything you could do there if you're Ryder, Kelly, Fendel, and Wagner at stretching at first base. Just wasn't hit hard enough, point blank. Everything else was almost picture perfect.
Fesenmeyer able to drive in the run on the fielder's choice that time, so it sets it up for Dominic DeFeo to try to give the Storm the lead. It's 2 out. Oh, he sends a deep drive out to left field, and that ball is going to get on out of here. Dominic DeFeo with a 3-run homer that just carried over the wall. And the Storm have put a dent right back in the lead. It's now a 5-2 game.
Gets underneath the hanging breaking ball and just golfs it over that 375 fence. A home run's a home run, Phil. That's a great piece of hitting. And it just proves baseball is a game of inches. I mean, how much did Fessenmeyer beat out that double play just one pitch earlier? Game of inches. Results in not only tying this game, but now South Bay has the lead.
And a big way, too, after they tied it up. And it's not going to stop there. Elijah Damaris with the base hit to left. You just think back, too, to that double play chance that Ryder Kelly and Isaac Findell had to turn. You know, that throw being just late at first. You know, that's what's kind of haunt the Legends right now on defense. Allahan pops up the first pitch on the right side. And it's going to be Wagner to secure it. Man, what an inning we saw both defensively and offensively, but the Storm get the final say after Fessenmeyer tied up the game on the fielder's choice, and then DeFeo delivered with the 3-run jack to extend the lead and get the lead back for South Bay. This is now a 5-2 game, so we'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Well, the Storm made a thunder in the top of the fifth, putting up 4 runs. 3 of them coming by way of the 3-run home run off the bat of Dominic DeFeo. Now the Legends in a bit of a hole here, now down by 3 in the bottom of the fifth. As Red Bottoms will lead off for Menlo Park. It's still Jordan Renteria in the game. So far tonight, South Bay has totaled up with 8 hits, while the Legends only have 5 to their tally. Kelly ahead 3-0.
For Kelly to reach base to start this inning after a 4-run inning would be big.
Kelly, big swing on a high fly ball. Foul territory, left field. Able to make the play is Fessenmeyer.
I do back Kelly's aggressiveness there, 3-0. exhibition game. He probably just got his pitch. He just missed it. He hit it pretty well, center field, left field. But just a lot of foul ground down there. Tough break. Love the aggressiveness.
Isaac Fendel looks at ball one. Well, we go down a level talking about players that have played all 9 positions. I was curious to know how many college guys were able to do it, as that's in for strike one to Fendel. List goes like this. Josh Janove from Towson played all 9 positions in the game back in, actually this year for Towson on May 12th. Started at catcher, then rotated all around the field. Fendel rips it back up the middle for a base hit. It was Janove who became the first NCAA Division I player in 8 years to pull off the feat to play all 9 positions in the game, playing 1 inning in each spot before finishing the game as the pitcher, which will be the plan for Paul Wagner tonight. Spoiler alert. And then it was in 2018 when Jake McKenzie did it for Powerhouse, Texas on April 17th in 2018, a 13-2 victory for the Longhorns against Texas Rio Grande Valley. D'Amelio, fly ball hit the center, and it's going to be caught by Hallahan, 2 away. However, Jake McKenzie for Texas, he brought 5 different gloves to the game, actually, as a matter of fact. Rotated through the infield and outfield and closed the game as the pitcher, recording the 2 outs. And the third noted college player to do that, you're going to love this one, Spencer, Buster Posey in 2008. Long before he became a big name in Major League Baseball, he played all 9 positions in a game for Florida State on May 12th in 2008 against Savannah State, where he caught the first inning, played every other position around the diamond in outfield, and pitched at the final frame.
Yeah, I mean, the college, very common to have the two-way player, but still a really, really cool feat to play all 9 positions in one game.
I feel like it's easier to pull off in college than it would the majors, because I feel like in college you get a little bit more freedom
right.
to play all.
You can get away with just throwing hard, you know.
Yeah.
Versus MLB, you kind of gotta hit your spots a little bit more.
Hey, well, I mean, MLB has college ball beat. You know, there are 5 major leaguers to play all 9 positions, while there's been 3 noted players in college ball to do the same. McGee taking all the way. Ball does go to the backstop. Fendel was, had the burners on going to second, even on the walk.
Never know.
Yeah, and it's not like mid-majors or small conference schools. These are at powerhouses. Texas, Florida State, where this is being allowed. That was being allowed.
That's good. That's a good catch. Yeah, that's a really important theme here. These powerhouses, which again is to your point. I mean, I don't know. You would think maybe a smaller school, maybe they run into some injuries. They have to be a little bit more creative with their lineup late in the season or something. But these are some big names. And some big name prospects, like Buster Posey, 2008. This is not long before he was drafted at Florida State. So to mess around with like a prospect like that, you wouldn't. I'm sure Rock Chalowski could play all 9. But, you didn't see him doing that at UCLA. Obviously, they were competing for a title. But there's so many circumstances that have to be met in order for that to fly, so it's really cool.
There's Mike Lakawa. He is going to look at strike 2. So he does become the tying run at the plate. Legends now being down by 3. You have Fendel at second and Levitt McGee at first. Lakawa sends a drive out to left center field, but Hallahan able to range over and make the catch to end the inning. Legends were able to get some movement going, but not able to get anything across in the bottom of the fifth. They leave 2 runners on off of 1 hit. So we'll go to the 6th, still 5-2 Storm. Now in the 6th inning, as the Legends' new pitcher is Rohan Agarwal. Agarwal is going to go up against Evan Tavares. Ground ball over to short. Kelly picks it up and will make the throw on the run for the first out. Wagner watch continues, so he'll move from first base now to second base. So it's like we're playing a game of Where's Waldo.
Yeah, he's like an hourglass of how much left of this game there is. Like what positions hasn't he played yet? If it's long, we're still early in this game. There's a long ways to go. But he's making his way. He's halfway through his infield. And then, of course, the one we all need to grab our popcorn for. Get your ice cream when he takes that ball on the bump.
Oh, yeah.
To end the 9th inning.
That is going to be the show right there.
Potential save opportunity if the Legends can get some bats going.
Well, runs inside on Moretti. So Ron Agarwal is a new addition to the Legends. Pitcher that goes to school at St. Peter's. He's from Los Altos, so he's from the area. Went to high school at Mountain View. Oh, that one hit right off his foot. Takes a high bounce. Kelly can't secure it. Moretti will get on with the single.
I don't know if that hit like the pitching rubber or like his heel. And it hit something on the mound and then kicked up.
I come out to check to see if Agarwal's okay.
You always have to ask. Use it as an opportunity just to maybe get on the right page for this hitter. It's a free mound, is it?
Fortunately, South Bay have not made any changes to their lineup tonight.
Yeah, fortunately he's right.
Nicholas Jang, who's been the hottest hitter in the Storm's lineup, he is 3 for 3 in this game with an RBI. Missed outside for a ball. Chance for a double play. Oh, and it gets underneath the glove of Aikawa in the left field. And that one was hit on the screws by Jang, as he has just been unstoppable. He's now 4 for 4, all singles. Like, he's the kind of guy that goes to in and out and only gets like the one patty on his burger. Still one out to work with for Agarwal, trying to see if we can get a double play turned here. Now it bounces right in front of Madrigal.
Great work by Madrigal tonight. That has not been the first time he's been challenged in the dirt to keep a ball in front, and he's been successful every time.
This is Will Ramirez. It's up for the 4th time. Kelly. Oh, can't secure it. Oh, another ground ball opportunity does not go the way for Menlo Park.
And just a little too risky to kind of be patient on that and wait for the ball to get to him. He didn't really do anything wrong. It just kind of takes a nasty hop, because that's just the truth about this infield dirt. But you got to be aware as an infielder that you let the ball bounce enough times and it will kind of get a mind of its own. You got to go and attack that.
That'll be Max Matucci. And that ball goes to the backstop, as this ball is going to allow for Moretti to come in standing up, and he will. The Storm add on another run. Now 6-2.
Got to be careful with Matucci. Can't flash the power.
Hit that one on the ground. Say it's a fair ball. Matucci doesn't leave the batter's box. Ace 11 McGee does step on first. So now the umps are can join here and find out what the decision is going to be.
I think Matucci said this hit his foot.
Now they're going to say Matucci's out. That's the final decision.
Yeah, he's not a fan of that call. Yeah, the run does come in to score.
Right.
So that's Jang. And then Ramirez will move the third.
And so still rolled an RBI, even with Matucci not leaving the box. So now make it 7-2 Storm. Oh, Nicholas Fessenmeyer. Take that one inside. Ramirez goes to third. Are well behind at 3-0.
Still got to fight for that third out. That's the hardest out of the inning. Job is not complete for Agarwal.
Ball 4. That's another walk for the Storm. And that does bring up a bit of danger here as Dominic DeFeo, who hit the 3-run home run his last time up, will get a chance to, I don't know, possibly might do the same here with 2 runners on and 2 out. And it got him on the elbow guard. You could hear the pop when the ball made contact. So a hit by pitch will load the bases.
Demir's 1 for 3. Singled his last at bat just in the previous inning.
Elijah Demiris coming up in a bases loaded spot here. He's 1 for 3. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the South Bay Storm. 2 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Legends in this game. First pitch ball into Demiris. It's popped up on the first base side. Levitt McGee camps under it and will make the catch. Inning over. The Storm leave 3 stranded. But they do bring across 2 more to add on to their lead. It's now 7-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th here in Palo Alto. Nick Magical will lead off for Menlo Park. It will be Magical, Bateman, and Wagner due up here in the bottom of the 6th in a 7-2 game. Still Jordan Renteria going the distance here for South Bay. Oh, and a leaping grab at short by Nicholas Jang.
Got some bunnies on his feet, man. That was some real airtime. That's a sweet play.
It's like he made the Jordan symbol while he was midair. Yeah, Nicholas Jang, who's been having a solid night at the plate. Now he's showing off a little bit on the defensive end. Now it's going to be Nate Bateman up to hit. Now for the Legends, they will return to CCL play on Friday when they see the San Luis Obispo Blues. And despite the score, I'm sure they've been getting a kick out of seeing Paul Wagner move around the diamond.
Yeah, he's been a reason to smile. It's been fun. Paul has kind of always ended up in his vicinity at least. He's made a couple plays at different positions, but he's found a way.
It's really been up to us to keep track of where he's been going every time he gets moved.
It's like a little game. Like you said, it's like, where's Waldo? Philip, when you were playing, what kind of pant were you wearing? Are you a Paul Wagner where you're wearing it? You're bringing the pants up just below the knee? Are you Hunter Pence again? Are you bringing it above the knee? Or are you going to be like Nate Bateman? You're going to wear it long, cover the socks.
I switched it up. Depending on the day. Sometimes most of the time I would wear like the high socks, like the high pant legs. Not like Hunter Pence. I'm not that.
That's
great.
a little too much. Yeah, it's a little freaky.
My knees aren't that.
Now, was it because of laundry day that made the choice for you, or was it I got 2 hits yesterday and I was with the long pants, so I'm gonna wear the long pants again? Was it a superstition?
It was just vibes.
Vibes.
Yeah, at times it was laundry day. If I got dirty one night with the high pant legs, and I would switch it for the long pants.
Right.
Or I don't know, maybe there's probably a game where I just didn't want to wash my socks, so I had the long pants for that reason.
Smart.
But I switched it up. I was one of those guys.
Nice. I was like a Paul Wagner. I'm not bringing them over the knee, but I'm showing the socks. I'm showing the socks. I'm showing the calves. I like that kind of old school pants up. Because speed was part of my game. I liked running the bases. I liked being a base runner, and I didn't like feeling like I was running in pants.
Yeah. Now,
it's a feel thing.
Yeah. Now I will say this: when I pitched, I did definitely go with the high pant legs.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But for some reason, being more of a viewer, a fan of the game, wearing the long pants is a better look, I think.
Oh, for sure.
I think, yeah. But I liked wearing the high pant. It's very weird.
There's Paul Wagner, who, we've seen all summer wear the high pants. Hasn't been doing much with the bat. 0-2 on the night. He's made a few solid putouts on defense, though. Remember that one play when he played the inning at first base where he was able to get the out at home to keep the lead for the Legends.
Yeah, being able to knock it down, make a strike throw to Madrigal.
And for strike one. And, he got to put out when he was in left field. So I guess the good news is his fielding percentage has been getting a boost across the diamond here for the putouts that he's made for the positions that he's played.
Yeah, he's held his ground at each spot of the field he's been tasked with. And so have his teammates, because every new position he takes, a teammate's got to move as well.
Was it hard down the left field line, and it will fall in for a fair ball. Bateman makes the turn at second, and he will get into third safely, while Wagner will stop at second. Well, hey, he could get it done on defense and get it done with the bat. You could mark a hit in the box score for him on the night.
Yeah, an extra base hit, too. Get that OPS up. And that will bring up a guy who just made his pitching debut for the Legends, and in the same inning will make his at-bat debut. It's Rohan Agarwal.
I'll come in a bit of a big spot here. Two runners in scoring position. Rohan Agarwal. Look at strike one. Showed bunt, but pulled back. Agarwal, not much of a hitter. Well, you think about his high school and his college play at St. Peter's. Strike two.
If Agarwal's if he's gonna show bunt, he needs to get up there and kind of in a ready position. He's kind of not starting to get ready until the ball's being thrown at him.
Well, he went for that one there, but it's going to be strike three. Because that 9-hole hasn't been too friendly tonight for the pitchers that have had a chance to hit.
It's been a tough draw for those guys. We have a prediction of which guys in here in the booth think that 9-hole spot is going to put a ball in play over under a half. Gabe doesn't think so. I'll play Mr. Optimistic. I think one of these guys gets it in play.
Yeah, we got to figure out who's our Jose Fernandez or Carlos Zambrano.
Yeah, Madison Bumgarner.
Or Madison Bumgarner.
Get some pop in there, too, some explosiveness. Some guys just went up there and just looked at every pitch. It was – depends.
Here's Ryder Kelly now. Count 2-0 on him as he was hit by a pitch in the first, did steal a base, grounded out to third in the third, and then flew out to left in the fifth. Misses a little bit upstairs. Count at 3-0 here. Taking all the way, but it's in for a strike.
Yeah, he got in a 3-0 count his last at-bat and then pulled the trigger and flew out in foul territory. So this time being a little bit more patient.
Big swing, sends it out to shallow right, and coming in is Tavares to make the play, as that will do it for the bottom half of the sixth. The Legends not able to get the runs going here. They have been kept scoreless for the last 3 innings now. So we'll go to the 7th. A third way home here at Baylands Park. Still a hefty lead for the South Bay Storm, 7-2, as you're tuned in to Menlo Park Legends Baseball on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. There's Nolan Hallahan to come up for the South Bay Storm. I've been having some control of this game here. They're up 7-2. They've kept the Legends scoreless through the 4th and the 6th innings.
Yeah, offense has really found its groove, putting up 4 runs in the 5th inning, and then 2 more in the 6th. A lot of noise in that top and middle part of the order.
Still Rohan Agarwal pitching on the mound here from Menlo Park. Hallahan bounced to third. Aikawa on the first. He'll get the out. Well, hopefully Michael Aikawa doesn't get too comfortable over there at the hot corner, because Paul Wagner continues to be on the move as he's now at shortstop in this playing shortstop this inning.
He's playing the captain's position.
Get a little Derek Jeter action. Evan Tavares now up to hit. And he went around on the swing there for strike 1. I don't know, maybe since Eric could be like, hey, is it cool if Wagner skips a position? I'm feeling pretty good tonight at the hot corner.
Yeah. Kawa has been sharp at third. But Wagner really hasn't been a liability anywhere he's gone. He's been pretty strong.
Let me ask you this, Spencer. Out of all the positions that Wagner has played tonight, where do you think he has shined the most defensively?
It's a good question. I think, honestly, he looks like just a really good middle infielder, but obviously he doesn't have, that's just pure eye test. I think he made the flashiest play at first base. Knocking that ball down, being aware that he had time to make the barehanded play, and then firing an accurate throw. A lot of times players panic and they can make a throwing error. And when a catcher has to become a first baseman, that home plate is flat. It's not coming out of the ground where you can put your foot up against it like a first baseman can. So it's a little awkward, and sometimes that results in some mistakes. But they were able to make that a very clean play. Also looks like Nate Bateman is now behind the dish for the Legends.
Now Nate Bateman does move to the catching spot. Swing and a miss there. And it's going to be the second out. So Agarwal is going to K Tavares.
This is where the top of the Storm's order has really punished the Legends pitching tonight. A good 2-out start here for Agarwal. Try and finish this inning.
Moretti singled and scored his last time at the plate.
Looks like D'Amelio went from right to center, and Madrigal went from the squat to right.
Man, that's quite a change.
Interesting change. Well, a catcher usually has a pretty good arm, and Madrigal does fit that description. So they got a cannon in right field now. The positive with this Paul Wagner experience tonight is, guys like Bateman who have played center, they've played left field tonight, and also D'Amelio who's played, I think, every position in the outfield, is it's nice to kind of know what the perspective is of another position that you frequently kind of have plays with. Like as a right fielder, if you have some plays in right center field, colliding, or Ryder Kelly in left field tonight, having the perspective as a left fielder who sometimes on a shallow fly ball to left field can have some communication with the shortstop, which is typically Kelly's position. So sometimes that perspective can really help you play your primary position a lot better.
Strike three called, and a bit of a late decision there by the home plate umpire. But our Garwal puts together a 1-2-3 inning, so 3-3 down go the Storm in the seventh. As a stretch time here at Baylands Park, as when we come back, it'll be Findell, DeMelio, and Levitt McGee due up for the Legends. Now, bottom of the seventh with Isaac Findell coming on the pitch. So Jordan Renteria's day is over as Amrit Joshi will now come in the pitch for the Storm, see if it can hold this 5-run lead. Again, this game doesn't really count to anyone's record, win or lose. The Legends do plan to look ahead when they go back to league play, welcoming the San Luis Obispo Blues here at Baylands Park on Friday night. We'll have coverage of that here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. Findell has popped out, reached on an error and scored, and has singled in this game. A high fly ball hit to left center, and ranging over is Fesenmeyer. He'll make the play.
You know, we were talking about Isaac Fendell off air a bit in between innings, trying to compare him to what his game would be like at the major league level. What player does he kind of have a similar game to? How do we feel about Kevin McGonigal?
That's a good one.
I mean, obviously, I know that's a very big name, and you know, Fendell's a very good player, but I just think the player profile fits him. You know, middle infielder, you can probably play, you know, everywhere in the infield. He played shortstop here a couple nights ago. He's fine at second base, good defender, bat-to-ball skills. He's got some legs underneath him as well. What do you think, Philip? Am I onto something here?
Well, yeah, if you're looking at a modern-day player for sure, as DeMelio fouls that one off. Yeah, if you're looking at a modern-day player, yeah, I can see Kevin McGonigal being a good one. But I was thinking a little bit more old school. He kind of gives me some shades of Marco Scudero.
Yeah.
You know, like high contact hitter, you know, good range in the middle infield.
Right. Yeah, team player.
Mm. Marco Scudero, he had a short spell with the Giants.
Major part in that championship team, though. One of the best trade deadline additions the Giants have made in franchise history. Of course, you got Kevin McGonigal. He's one of the rising superstars in the
Majors right now. Made the All-Star team.
Yeah, that kid's a stud.
He's in the running for Rookie of the Year. He's put up some pretty good numbers in 2026. 283 hitter, 8 home runs, 34 ribbies, 93 games played. That was hit hard. Oh, off the glove of Jang. Maybe a hard hit knock for D'Amelio. He continues to keep it going here. He has his second hit on the night. He hit that home run back in the third inning, the 2-run shot for the Legends, and now he's on with a single. And you talk about trust, too, that the Tigers have in McGonigal's future. Already gave him a 9-year contract extension for quite a bit of money. Just thinking like, hey, you're going to be our shortstop of the future, kid.
Craziest part about that is that's not, like, super out of this world. The Milwaukee Brewers have tied up a couple of their rookies to that. I mean, Cooper Pratt is a guy that comes to mind. He's a guy who signed a long, it was at least, I think it was 8 or 9 years. I think it was 8 years contract, and he hadn't even made his debut yet. And then he's not the first guy to do that, too. So it's a lot to do with the new – there potentially could be a salary cap. There's a lot of questions about the new collective bargaining agreement that's going to happen this winter between the MLB owners and the Players Associations. There's a lot of unknowns. But also they're investing a lot in this future talent, and they just are trying to get them on discounted deals by locking them up on contract early.
Case 11 McGee count him at 1 and 2. Now it's in the dirt, and I know Spencer, like, I hate to talk about like the idea of a salary cap in baseball, and just knowing how touchy of a subject it is.
Yeah.
With the new CBA coming up, but I'm like, what are your thoughts on that?
It's tough, right? Because the reason why we want one is really to limit what teams like the Dodgers and these big market teams are doing. And I don't know if a salary cap is going to solve all these problems. I think you can't really throw money. Baseball is not a sport where you can throw money at your problems. I had a friend ask me why it is that there's a rule where if you're top 10 in like payroll, you can't have back-to-back top 10 draft picks, right? The Giants have that problem right now. They're a bad team. They're paying a lot of their players money, but they're probably going to be worthy of a top 10 pick, but having the 4th pick, they're not going to get that. But my point is you can't throw like the Mets struggling with money. So I really just think there's some organizations that just value players, scout players, and put more into their player development program than just throwing money at superstars that they can acquire. So I'm not sure if a salary cap is going to solve all these problems. I think it comes down to, there's many free agents who aren't signed until very late. Luis Ariz, it took a long time for him to get signed. Why aren't teams like the Colorado Rockies calling for him to add talent, What's their reason? So that's where I think it's the problem.
That was ball 4 there on Levitt McGee. He'll take his base. And I know the pitch that they're trying to use now, the salary cap, is like they're expecting this to have more competitive balances, kind of make the free agency pool more fair, or more fair for those small market teams who struggle to get the big money players. You think about markets outside of L.A., Chicago, New York, Philly, even maybe Atlanta. Like you really that does kind of come into play as far as how they're trying to sell it, which it could be a win or a loss. When the smoke clears and the new CBA gets finalized.
Yeah, I think some of those rules could be really good for the game, and baseball I don't think gets enough credit for how well they've implemented these new rules when it comes to, pitch clock, bigger bases to increase stolen base numbers, get the game more exciting, more running on their feet. the 26-man roster, going from 25 to 26, trying to keep pitchers' arms healthy by getting an extra arm on that active roster. So little things like that. I think baseball doesn't get enough credit for how well that they've changed the game a bit.
Akawa, fly ball hit to right. Tavares will make the catch. And D'Amelio decides not to tag, so he'll stay put, and there's 2 gone. With every new CBA that comes, what also comes with it is the possibility of a strike, and even, of course, at the end of the day, the players, they'll have the final say because, hey, let's be honest, they're the ones that get paid. They're the product on the field.
They're the sport, absolutely.
The commissioner's office may have the final say, but the Players Association, with how strong a relationship they've built with the players over time, this is their call. There's a fly ball hit the center field, and it will drop in for a base hit by Nick Madrigal, as that will be enough for D'Amelio to score on the RBI knock. It's now 7-3 with Legends trying to make a bit of noise here.
He finally gets one to fall. He got robbed of a hit by Jang his last at-bat, so that's got to feel good. Get a knock, get an RBI with it. But absolutely, I think there has to be – it just kind of seems like each side is thinking of this new agreement as a chance to be like, okay, what do we want? And I really think the conversation really has to shift to, how can we both – how can we make this a better game? Because that's really all that matters. And I really hope they don't lose sight of that.
Bateman will keep that one fair down the right field line. It's going to score 1. Coming in is Levitt McGee. And holding up at third is Madrigal, but the throw gets away, which will allow Madrigal to come in, and Bateman going to third. 2 runs able to score on the double by Bateman, but he'll advance to third. Now the Legends are cutting it close now with the Storm.
Yeah, they're starting to find some grass on these outfield hits. That one, you had the outfield completely shifted to the left side, and that totally, and they're going to stay there. The right fielder right now is almost behind the second baseman. The second baseman is also playing almost right up the middle. So a little bloop there, and Bateman could run for a while. He'd take advantage of a throwing error.
I'll credit Bateman with the RBI double and an advancement on a throwing error, which did allow for Madrigal to score as well. So Paul Wagner, the all-around utility man tonight, becomes the tying run at the plate. He's going to look at strike 1, count even at 1 apiece. For Nate Bateman, he gets his 3rd hit on the night, along with his 2nd double.
Wagner will be moving to third base after this half inning. His final stop before we get to see pitcher Wagner.
Wagner smokes it and just foul. They're just saying that ball is foul. Well, how crazy would it be to see Wagner get a clutch hit here? There's no way
that would light a bigger spark too.
Knowing what he's about to do these next 2 innings. 2-2. Lays off on the breaking ball. Looks at ball 3.
Good take. That breaking ball, really good spot. Just broke a little too late for it to clip the top of that strike zone. Good take by Wagner. But yeah, anything Wagner does tonight.
Gets hit by the pitch there. Joshi not able to keep it in the zone and win the duel. So now the tying run is on base with the pitcher coming up to hit Rohan Agarwal I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Senzeri's going to have him swing away here?
You know, this is exactly why the NL implemented a DH. It's for this exact reason. Because back that when there was a DH in the NL, they would just intentionally walk Wagner, and the inning would be immediately over. But the strategy would be it would force you to call for a pinch hitter and then go to your bullpen. So I do miss the strategy aspect of it, but
Agarwal, look at strike one, and I don't think Senzeri has any guys on the Charger to come in to pinch hit tonight with how slim the roster is in this one. On a pickoff, it's going to allow for Wagner to move to second, and it caught Joshi by surprise. He didn't know what to do.
Wagner has not touched second base yet. He's going to go back to first base. You know what he's trying to do, Philip? He's trying to do the Senzeri, get in the pickle, and try and steal a run here. But if I were South Bay, I would completely ignore Wagner and focus on to get out of this inning. You're going to have to pitch to a Galwal.
So the runners remain at the corner. They had Wagner go back.
He's trying to get picked off right now. But I think the Storm are doing the best, doing the right thing. They're just completely ignoring him and going after the hitter. If that's the case, if you're Wag, just take second base. Oh, here we go.
Although the second, as that will allow for the run to come. Oh, and Wagner got around the tag attempt, and he's safe at first.
Come on, man.
Bateman scores while Wagner was in the pickle. And it's now a one-run game.
That's gonna make a coach sick, right there. Again, with 2 outs, all you had to do was ignore Wagner and go after, and just make this pitcher swing the bat, and you are out of this inning.
Our Garwal gave a hack there, but a foul ball just right of the Legends dugout. Two-strike pitch coming up. Wagner takes off, but it was strike three called. That will retire the side, but man, you talk about some drama. Now the Legends able to put up 4 runs to get within 1 now of South Bay, so this game has gotten more interesting as if it hasn't already been interesting enough. So we'll go to the 8th as the Wagner watch does continue. It is now a whole new ball game in Palo Alto tonight. A whole new ball game here now in the 8th inning. The Wagner watch continues as he is now at the hot corner. Garwal still out on the rubber with Nicholas Jang leading off for the Storm as they're trying to pull away here while they still have the lead. Jang fouls that one at the plate. Like he might have gotten some of his foot that time. A bit of a surprise inning for the Legends, especially just knowing that the offense was kind of quiet, but they woke up the bats a little bit in the bottom half of the 7th, Spencer.
Yeah, 3 hits in the inning. First time they had a multi-hit inning since the 3rd, where they put up 2 runs. So a spark they'll need to carry on and finish this game.
Ooh, how about Wagner with the scoop and the throw?
What can he do? What can't he do? Nothing easy about that. That is some Ron Washington drills right there. Some nice hands coming through the ball. No notes. No notes.
Yeah, that wasn't a cheap ground ball either. That one was hit hard. It was flown to right. Madrigal, can of corn for him. 2 away.
Another out-of-position player making a play. I think the biggest takeaway from this game for Nick Cinzeri is the 9 players he wants to hit is the most important part of creating the lineup card. Where they play isn't going to matter.
Already 2 quick outs. Oh, Max Matucci. So look at ball 1. Matucci has struck out, walked again, and grounded out with an RBI. A ground out for a second time. 1, 2, 3. Go the Storm. Garwal with a fast inning. The Legends will come back up to the plate with the top of the order due up with Kelly, Findell, and D'Amelio due the hit in the bottom half. Now Ryder Kelly will lead off with the Legends only being down by 1, and which has been what you could call a wacky game. As Kendall Vasquez will be the new pitcher coming on for the South Bay Storm. You know, I use wacky metaphorically, especially with the Paul Wagner with one more position to play on the night. But I also think, too, with, the Legends scoring in spurts, they had that 2-run inning in the 3rd with a 2-run home run from D'Amelio. Then they put up a 4 spot just recently in the bottom of the 7th to get back within range of the Storm. Vasquez is 0-2. Ryder will look at that one inside.
Good take. Legends need Ryder Kelly to be a true leadoff man right now and set the table for this top of the order as they are now counting down the final 6 outs.
Swung on and miss. Vasquez starts off the inning with a strikeout. Vasquez, the 5'9", 210-pound righty product of Gavilan College, trying to maintain a lead for South Bay. Fendel, ground ball to short. It eats up Jang, and he's not able to complete the play. Fendel will be on.
He did everything right to get in front of that baseball, but that is just Baylands Park dirt eating him up right there. A tough hop. Couldn't react in time. It's going to be ruled an error, but the best thing Jang can do is just kind of move on.
They're going to roll that an E6 on Jang as Joey DeMelio becomes the go-ahead as he is 2 for 4 on the game with the 2-run home run he hit in the third, and he singled in the 7th to come around to score the 4 runs that the Menlo Park put up in the bottom of the 7th. A look at strike 1 from Vasquez.
Just kind of want to give Jang some flowers here. I think you can learn a lot about a player, about how they respond, what their body language is like after an error. And watching Jang after kind of booting that ground ball, a frustrating play for a shortstop, immediately looks to his outfield, gives him the 1-out sign, looks to his middle infielder, and just kind of communicates who's taking the steal, just moving on from the play. I absolutely love that as a player.
Melio, 0-2, sent to left center, and it'll be Hallahan to make the grab. Storm able to get a big out there with DeMelio, who has homered in the game, but now just have one more problem in Casey Levitt McGee, as he has doubled and walked twice in this one. Levitt McGee, he could definitely, drive a ball. Runner takes off for second. And Fendel with the burners slides in without a throw.
Not a problem for Fendel. Beautiful jump. Put the pressure on Defoe to make a really quick exchange there and resulted in a drop. Stolen base, though, for Fendel.
McGee smokes it fair. Down the right field line into the corner, and we are going to be tied. Levitt McGee will park it at second with the equalizer. 7-7 here in the 8th.
This guy's still looking for a home in the collegiate season coming up, and that's a big swing of the bat right there. That's a pick-me-up. Change the feel of this game. Bring into reality how close the Legends are from pulling off the complete comeback here. And we all know who's taking the ball in the 9th inning.
That's right. The Legends, after being down 7-2 for most of the game, they have clawed their way back and have put up 5 runs in 2 innings. The job's not done yet, as Michael Aikawa with a chance to give them the lead, possibly setting up a save situation for Wagner. The 1-0. Big swing, but fouled off.
Aikawa has been quiet since his leadoff double in the 2nd.
Good pitch there by Vasquez. Hits the corner. Strike 2.
Yeah, really good executed pitch to get ahead in the count now in a situation like this. Very important.
The 1-2 pitch. Round of foul over to the third base coach's box. Count remains. Fastball missed high, even at 2-2.
Pretty solid pitch there from Vasquez. Didn't totally botch his release point there. Still missing high, letting Akawa at least think about the pitch. That's a win on its own. This is a chase pitch there.
Pitch ran in. Akawa fights it off. Akawa doubled in the second inning. They flew out to right in the third, flew out to center in the fifth, and flew out to right again in the seventh. Vasquez went off speed. Akawa's just out in front. Trying to wait back a little bit, letting the ball get more deeper into the zone.
I think he's hunting for that fastball and just fighting off any curveball.
Oh, he waits back there. Fly ball hit the left field, and it's over the head of Hisenmeyer. Levin McGee will trot on home. Akawa will trade places with him. The Legends have now taken the lead. 8-7.
That's a two-strike at bat to its core right there. You're not looking. You don't want. He did not want to hit that curveball. He had no interest in that curveball. He spit on it a few times. Once he got to that two-strike count, it was foul it off, staying on time for the fastball. He gets his fastball, and he did not miss it.
Akawa, who doubled in the second inning, doubles in the clutch spot here in the bottom of the eighth to give the Legends the 8-7 lead. Back-to-back doubles by Levin McGee, who drove in Findell to tie the game, and then Akawa copied him, driving him in for the go-ahead. I said it before, Spencer, it's okay to be a copycat if you copy the right cat.
Absolutely.
Nick Madrigal trying to look to see if he can add some insurance here. Swung on but fouled. Line drive on the bounce. It's knocked down by Jang, and he'll get the throw to first, but it goes behind first, as that will allow for Akawa to score. Magical advances to second. Nicholas Jang gets booked with another E6, his second error of the inning, and the Legends able to get that additional run, now 9-7.
Tough backhanded play, but that is going to be an error. That's a play he kind of got to make. I mean, within a step of his range, he keeps it in front, and he does the hard play to stay with it, barehanded, fire across the diamond, but just not an accurate toss. Once you make that bobble, it's real easy to feel rushed from that left side of the diamond.
Nate Bateman swung on and missed on the first pitch.
And now if you're the Storm, you're trying to keep a lid on this deficit here. You've already conceded the lead. Now you're just trying to give your offense a chance to score off Paul Wagner.
You look for an appeal on that swing. They said that Bateman held up. Another chance here for Jang. And he'll make the throw on target here to end the inning. But the Legends trying to complete the comeback here as they were able to execute on 2 RBI doubles. The first one coming from Casey Levitt McGee to tie the game, and Michael Aikawa with an RBI double himself to give the Legends the lead. And you also add on some extra insurance for good measure. But now we go to the 9th inning where we will see Paul Wagner complete history trying to go for the save with the Legends now leading 9-7 here in Palo Alto. We'll be right back here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. All right, folks, well, mark it down wherever you are. At 8:36 p.m., July 15th, 2026, Paul Wagner is about to become the first Menlo Park Legends player ever to play all 9 positions in a game, whether that's CCL or non-league, as he is out on the mound for the 9th inning with the Legends up 9-7. So not only is he out to pitch, but he's out for the save opportunity. It's Fesenmeyer, DeFeo, and Demuris due up here for South Bay. First pitch is in for ball 1. That one's lined out in the right center field, and it's going to fall, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Fesenmeyer is on his horse. He rounds second, trying to go for the triple, and he will be in standing up. What a way for the Storm to lead off the 9th inning.
I don't think Paul Wagner was too far off from his location there. Fastball, just heat down and away. But at the same time, tip your cap to Fessenmeyer. Beautiful opposite field approach. That was really impressive hitting.
Well, Dominic DeFeo, a dangerous hitter who hit the 3-run home run in the 5th inning for the Storm, is up to hit. First pitch misses low for a ball. All Wagner wants to do is play catch.
DeFeo does have a home run tonight. That kind of power can tie this game up in a hurry.
Can't get it there. Now at 3-0.
Well, it's looking like Wagner's going to have to earn a save if he can get it.
And he'll give the free pass on 4 pitches to DeFeo. Oh, there's runners at the corners. Elijah Demaris will be up to hit here. It's a conversation now out on the mound.
Fessenmeyer does not matter here for Wagner. The runner you got to focus on here is DeFeo. That's your tying run. And then, of course, keep your eyes on Demarius, or if another Storm reaches base, then that becomes your go-ahead run.
Paul Wagner, one of Sanzeri's Ohlone guys out of Denair, California, product of Houston High School. He was a JUCO preseason All-American coming into 2026. He was the first-team All-Coast South selection last year in 2025. And they tried to throw the breaking ball there, but still not able to throw a strike.
That's 6 straight balls, too. It's going to have to be real nice over the plate for Demarius to pull the trigger.
This is high, so another 3-0 count. Sure, South Bay, they want to have this game. Swung on, fouled.
They do want this game. This game has been, it's been all South Bay up until these last 2 innings.
Inside, ball 4, so now the bases are loaded. Oh, the Storm are going to bring on a pinch hitter here. It's coming on will be number 8, Sean Nguyen-Fell. As he'll be hitting in the spot for Nolan Hallahan. So Mike Luna making a call off the Charger. Wagner still missing high. Wagner's still getting the fastball up in at least in the low to mid 80s though, so he's throwing hard. Oh, umpire shows him a little bit of love there. Strike 1.
That's kind of a gift there. That doesn't happen too often. But all you can do if you're Wagner is just use that as evidence that you can throw a strike.
Swing and a miss there on the 1-1 pitch.
Big strike, big pitch here. Up in the count 1-2. Got to be thinking strikeout.
As it comes to 1-2. It's just a little upstairs.
That's not a bad spot, though. That is not a bad spot at all. Nguyen-Fell just swung through a high heater Why not go right back at him? Let's see if he mixes it up with an off speed.
Wagner's going to step off, and bases loaded, still pitching from the windup. Oh, looking and deliver the 2-2. Well, it gets away to the backstop as Fesenmeyer will come in standing up on the wild pitch. Now the Storm are within one with the tying run moving to third. The full count now for Nguyen Phil.
This is Paul's inning. There is no one down that right field line warming up for the Legends. They also just might not have any players left, too.
Missed high and in, another walk. Now, that's the fourth walk in this inning as make that the third walk in this inning. The last three Storm hitters have kept the bat on their shoulders. As Evan Tavares. Strike one from Wagner.
He seems to be getting some love with that high strike. I would try and just live there. Challenge these hitters to catch up.
Swung on and fouled off by Tavares. Count at 0-2. You can hear the chatter coming from the South Bay Storm dugout. You know, they want this game to go in their favor here in the ninth.
Yeah, you're starting to feel some momentum swing here with Wagner struggling with command a bit and the leadoff triple from Fesenmeyer.
It's the 1-2. Fouled off. Just got pieced there by Tavares. Count remains.
Top of the Storm's order, too, is looming here with Moretti, the leadoff man, on deck. This is the top of the order is where they've made their most damage offensively. With Jang following, he's already has a 3-hit day.
Tavares staying in the fight here. Tavares, he's 1 for 4 on the game.
I'm not overthinking my pitches here if I'm Wagner. I'm just playing the odds.
Now it's popped up. Going out the shallow right. No lack of communication as it falls in. DeFeo is going to come in, and we are tied up.
And that just sucks, Phillip. That's just the tough way because, I mean, the second you put your palms in the air, it's in a dark sky like tonight. You can't really point your fingers at anyone there. It's a tough part about playing these games so deep in the night.
Yeah, Madrigal, Fendel, and you can even say D'Amelio kind of lost track of that one. Wagner has yet to record an out, but it's now a tie ball game. Already swing and miss on the first pitch.
He's got a feel for the strike zone now, though. You can see it. He's found a comfortability with some high fastballs.
Fouls off that one. That's 2 strikes now. Demaris at third. Nguyen fell at second. And Tavares at first.
Some Kai Manic there, throwing as hard as he can, losing the hat in the process.
The 1-2. 2-2. The Legends infield is playing to the edge of the infield grass. Swing and a miss. Moretti will take the walk of shame, striking out with the bases loaded. And you just see the frustration by Moretti. Hey, I'd be frustrated too if I went down with the bag's juice.
Yeah,
game.
striking out with the bases loaded, Phil. That's your nightmare.
Oh, you don't want to see me.
Still work to do for Wagner.
Oh, here comes the hottest man in the Storm lineup tonight, Nicholas Jang, 4 for 5 of an RBI in this one. Trying to get the big one here. Pitch runs inside, count 2-0. Wagner puts it in for a strike. Oh, that ball is launched deep to left field, and that one is going to go off the wall. That's going to clear the bases. Jang motors it into third with a full house 3-run triple as the Storm lead 12-9. A 5-hit game for Nicholas Jang. And his 5th one comes when it counts the most, driving in 3 on the 3-bagger.
That's not a bee sting. That's a wasp. That just keeps biting. I mean, that was absolutely crushed, and it's just a testament to the kind of night that Jang had at the plate. A real impressive night for that young man. And credit to this Storm team. I mean, Fessenmeyer leading it off with a beautiful opposite field approach, and then the next 4 guys staying patient, and then Jang punishing a hanging fastball over the plate, just kind of realizing the pattern that the fastball is really the only pitch that Wagner can consistently throw for a strike, and I mean he's just all over it. It's just hips, turn, hands inside, and beautiful triple.
It was a breaking ball, nice. And there by Wagner for strike 2. Ramirez count 1-2, and yeah, even Jang, he was turning on the Jets there. You can see him just flying around the bases, getting the third on that hit.
He was smelling 3 out of the box.
You might want to keep tabs on Jang for the near future. He is a JUCO guy. College of San Mateo, quite the program they have up there. That one's fouled off by Ramirez. Or Nicholas Jang. In high school, he posted a 401 varsity average, 557 on base, and a close to almost 1,200 OPS. 44 career RBIs and 70 stolen bases. Quite the player. Breaking ball is swung on and miss. Wagner able to bow back with the strikeout. There's 2 away.
I'd love to see Paul throw that one again. That was disgusting.
Max Matucci. Look at strike 1.
He's the 9th hitter in this inning.
A breaking ball goes to the backstop. as Zhang will come in standing up. I'll make it 13-9. Wicked breaking ball. Wagner gets all the 3 outs on his own. So he gets 3 Ks there in the 9th inning, but it came with a price as the Storm able to fight back and put up 6 in the top of the 9th to get the lead 13-9 with the big blow coming from Nicholas Zhang with a 3-run triple. As the Legends are going to have some work to do as we go to the bottom of the 9th. It will be Wagner, the pitcher spot, and Kelly due up when we come back. Well, South Bay put up a 6 spot in the top half of the 9th. Kind of makes the hill a little bit steeper for the Legends. As Paul Wagner, who came in and pitched that 9th inning, was able to get 3 strikeouts but gave up the 6 runs. Will lead off here in the bottom of the 9th as he completes the position cycle, playing all 9 positions. As it's going to be Terry Baker coming out to try to shut the game down here on the mound. Ooh, and Wagner is going to wear that one, gets hit. He'll reach the lead off.
Well, a good start. Jason 4.
I got a pinch hitter coming up.
Bring up the
Foul on the first pitch.
bringing up the pitcher spot here, figuring out the player. Again, it's been an odd night, so there's been some scrambling here about who's where. We've been pretty successful on tracking down Mr. Paul Wagner.
All right. Kind of 0-2.
Two decent bunt attempts. Been the best bunt attempts we've seen
All right.
tonight.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Moises Reyes, who was hitting in the pitcher spot, strikes out on 3 pitches there, but that will bring up Ryder Kelly. Oh, yeah, it has been a fun night. Spencer, back and forth baseball, and of course the Paul Wagner, escapade out on the diamond.
It was a fun story, man. It was a good change of pace. It's nice to kind of have, change things up. Cool thing to talk about. Learned a lot about all the historic utility nights around the NCAA and MLB levels. I no idea that one of the more historic players in Giants franchise history, my team that I root for, Buster Posey, had a similar night to Paul's at the Florida State level.
Yeah, that was pretty big time for sure. Count out 2-0 on Kelly. 0 for 4 on the game. Baker's pitch runs in. It's now 3-0. Runs inside. There's going to be a ball, not hit by pitch. Kelly will reach base.
That helps the on-base percentage. You'll take it.
So Findell going to get a chance to hit here in the ninth. Legends just need 4 to tie. 5 to win. Baker will start him out with a first pitch strike. Baker 6'4" out of Oakley, California. Attends college at Central Christian College, NAIA. Played his JUCO ball at Los Medanos, another program that's produced quite a few number of pitchers. Allen's popped up in the infield, and it's going to be Jang call everybody off to make the catch for the second out. Joey D'Amelio, the last hope for Menlo Park in this one. Quite an interesting one that we've had here tonight in Palo Alto. Keep in mind, this doesn't count to anybody's league record. This is a game only for fun, exhibition. D'Amelio with a high drive deep to left field down the line, and that ball's going to stay fair. And D'Amelio flips the bat and pips it. His second home run on the night, and boy, was it a moonshot.
How about that swing of the bat from Joey D'Amelio? Another home run for D'Amelio the first Legend to have a multi-home run game this season, just puts one on an arrow over that left field wall.
I think that one went further and higher than the first one he hit all the way back in the third inning, but now it becomes a one-run game. And, man, I think if Vendel would have reached base, could have been a possibility of a game-tying grand slam. But now it's up to Casey Levitt McGee, who, we know has power, Spencer. He can get it done at the plate with the long ball as well.
And he can do it at night, too. He took one deep. He almost took one deep here. Well, he has. He's almost taken two deep here. He hit one to dead center. He's got power to all fields.
Baker having to lock in a little bit more here. So he'll deliver ball one inside.
And he'd be lying if he said he isn't thinking about it right now.
Now misses outside, goes to 2-0. Levitt McGee, he's had himself quite the night. He has two doubles. He did hit the game-tying double back in the 8th inning. That was when the Legends were down at the time, but were able to have the comeback, at least on the first attempt, but now they're trying to do it a second time. 3-0 on Levitt McGee. Takes all the way. It's across for a strike. Now hitters count for Casey. And it's going to be ball 4, so he'll get on. So he becomes the tying run.
Bloop and a blast, Phillip. There's your bloop. And here comes a guy with already 2 extra base hits tonight. And a first baseman who just walked, Casey Levitt McGee, who's also he can run pretty well. He can score if this ball finds some grass. But to counter that, you'll see the Storm outfield take a couple steps back just to try and prevent that double. That right field line is open.
Michael Aikawa steps in, looks at ball 1 away. He has 2 doubles himself. He hit the go-ahead double in the bottom of the 8th. Casey Levitt McGee, not a big lead at first. But he's going to be running with any ball hit in the field. There's strike 1.
Really nice spot from Baker. Got to live on the corners here. If you're going to get beat, it's got to be a tip your hat.
Baker looks in for the sign. The 1-1. And strike 2, high in the zone. Aikawa trying to fight here. The 1-2 pitch coming up. This is away. Now it's even at 2-2.
Madrigal patiently waiting on deck.
Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss, and Baker will get Aikawa to end the ball game. The Legends failed to complete the comeback on the second take, but man, were they able to stay in the fight there with the South Bay Storm as they dropped this one 13-12. But Spencer, you gotta admit, this was a game that I'm sure we're gonna remember for a long time.
Yeah, this was a special game. This was a boxing match. Both teams kind of taking jabs back and forth. It took a bit for the Legends to really feel like they had a chance to win this game. It took putting together 7 runs in the 7th and 8th inning, and then 10 total in the last 3 innings. So
all of that was kind of wiped away by the 6-run ninth inning for the Storm, despite having control of this game throughout. But yeah, for all hands on deck. This was a fun game.
Sure was, and of course the big story from tonight was seeing Paul Wagner do the tour of the baseball diamond, playing all 9 positions from beginning in the outfield and closing it out on the mound, where it got kind of rocky for not just him but for Menlo Park as a whole. But the efforts on offense definitely did shine, especially seeing Joey D'Amelio deliver with those 2 home runs, especially the big one that he hit in the 9th inning to get the Legends within 1 run.
Yeah, clutch hitting. There's a lot of clutch moments in this game on both sides of the field too. How about we'll start on the Legends side. I mean, Casey Levin-McGee shooting a double down the right field line to tie this game up back in the 8th inning, and then that leading to tying in the 8th inning, taking the lead, and then setting a potential win up in the 9th inning, and then again clutch Joey D'Amelio. This game feeling it's out of reach, 2 outs. And he comes up with his second big fly of the game, bringing this game within 1. And then on the other side of the diamond, I mean, Nicholas Bestenmeyer, leadoff triple, setting the tone. Guys getting on base, drawing some walks, patient at bats. And then Nicholas Jang, man. I mean, he stood out a ton today, at the plate especially. He made some nice plays defensively. But, man, the 3-run triple was just a backstabber and really just kind of changed the mood of this game. And in the Storm's favor, too. So a lot of clutch hitting on both sides.
Yeah, Nicholas Jang had the biggest hit of them all, especially when South Bay gave the lead back to the Legends. But Nicholas Jang coming up big with that 3-run triple, giving him his 5th hit on the night. He went 5 for 6 in total with 4 RBIs. But, man, he was – for a team that we've never seen play against the Legends before, Spencer, I will say I got to give Nicholas Jang his props, with the way that he performed tonight, and especially just knowing where he's at now in his starting out his collegiate career. Playing at College of San Mateo, as mentioned, a solid JUCO program here in the Bay Area, but, I mean, he's got a bright future for the kind of player he is.
That's the cool part about doing this, Philip, and about the CCL and summer baseball all over the world. Is the opportunities to get playing time and to shine a light on these guys who are obviously very talented, but sometimes kind of fall behind the guy who's been there for 1 extra year or has an extra year of experience and has that step over them, and so they don't get the opportunities to showcase nights like tonight, like Nicholas Jang had. So it's really cool to see guys take advantage of their spotlight, and Jang totally did that tonight with a 4-hit performance.
Yeah, and especially doing that against a CCL team at that. I mean, we've had quite the evening, and I'm glad we were able to keep up with the adventures of Paul Wagner on the diamond. And, of course, history is still made despite the loss for the Legends in this one, seeing the first Menlo Park Legend to play all 9 positions in a ball game, whether that's in CCL play or in non-league play. But Paul Wagner, you will go down in history, my good friend. But overall, a great night for baseball, a great night for summer collegiate baseball, and something that I'm sure the players are gonna definitely take in for sure.
Absolutely, these are the fun games that you'll take away, you'll remember. Obviously, the big games you have throughout the summer, but these fun games, you can kind of crack some laughs, have some fun with it, and shout out to Paul Wagner for giving us some laughs throughout the night.
Well, the Legends will be back to California Collegiate League business come Friday night when they welcome in the San Luis Obispo Blues. That's going to be a good one, especially with the Blues being the front runners in not just the CCL North, but having the most wins at the moment all across the California Collegiate League, if you count in both the teams in the North Division and the South Division. But, the Blues, they did drop a game tonight against the Merchants, so they're going to be coming up here to the Bay with a chip on their shoulder, trying to get a win against a Legends team that is going to try to be as scrappy as they can against a team they would love to get another upset on. Yeah,
absolutely. It goes back to reality on Friday night, and this team's going to try and finish the season strong, finish the season how they would like to finish it, and. It's an end of a season for a lot of these guys. This might be the last time they play with each other, so they got to really soak in every inning.
Yeah, well, before the Blues do make the stop here in Palo Alto, they are going to be seeing the Crawdads tomorrow night out in Danville, but they've been on a bit of a skid, however, as they have dropped four straight games where, they lost at home twice against the Santa Barbara Foresters and one time against the Academy Barons, and of course they lost tonight, as mentioned, against the Alameda Merchants. So not only will they be coming up and trying to snap this 4-game skid that they've been on, but they're also trying to make sure that they don't lose any ground in first place. But based on the win percentage right now, the Crawdads currently sit in first. Again, this is by win percentage, not by record, while the Blues did fall to second in the North as far as them being on this 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, Legends have the chance to play spoiler, right? They get to be the bad guys. They get to be the villain in the Blues story here on how they finish the season and where they fall in the playoffs. Because now it's about seeing it for them. This team is obviously 25 wins this season. That's going to put you in the playoffs in the CCL already. So it's just about where do they set themselves up to make the best run they can to win that last game of the season, as Billy Bean always says. Dude, that's the goal, is to win the last game of the season. So that's what the Blues are looking for, whereas the Legends, man, they're just trying to play heartbreak.
Oh, not only will we be back to business in the California Collegiate League slate on Friday, but we will be back to normal with the full squad and hopefully with Paul Wagner playing one position if necessary. But that's going to wrap things up for us tonight here on the Menlo Park Legends live stream network. Glad you could tune in for what was a thrilling matchup with a team from the South Bay and the South Bay Storm, who will go back to their slate schedule in the Bay Area Collegiate League. But the final line score goes like this, with the Storm putting up 13 runs on 13 hits with 3 errors, while the Legends put up 12 runs on 14 hits and 1 error. Again, make sure to tune in with us come Friday evening at 6 p.m. when the Legends take on the San Luis Obispo Blues. Alongside my partner, Spencer Tracy, this is Philip Hall on the call saying thank you again for tuning in with us tonight as we say so long and good night from Palo Alto.
Dude, what were you laughing at when the kid threw his bat?
Which guy? I was laughing the whole time. It was a goofy game.
That was a goofy game, yeah.
He broke it, but he broke it.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he broke it.
Oh, that's so funny. Did he break over his knee?
No, he just broke it, like slammed in on the ground.
Yeah. That's crazy. Given his team was up like 5 at that time.
Well, he struck out the bases loaded.
Oh, that was before Jang, you're right, yeah.
Yeah,
Then Jang cleared the bases.
Yeah, Jang cleared it.
Yeah, probably instant regret.
Yeah.